Alright, I got a Shalltear clear. This should be a pretty good showcase of what she does. She's Virgil 2.0 if you don't know. She's our new burst DPS. You get a buff from her special once per fight. Well, I think it's once per wave. Either way, you only need it once per fight. And it massively boosts her damage. It doubles her hit count. Virgil's active buff. Now, it doesn't synergize very well with her other traits. Or one of her traits. She also gains a large damage boost and 40k cap from using skills. And obviously if you're trying to save all of your skills for this one burst, it's not going to work out too well. So you need some form of SCT recovery to really make use of her or Virgil. Both of them are dependent on that. But here we go. Ains is here just to give me his charisma. He's doing 2Ks with magic, it's not very helpful. Her special itself is not particularly strong. It's actually pretty weak. Strong is not a word that I would use for it. But she doesn't need it. This fight goes well. We're going to be seeing him dive a lot more. I should shove all 3 dives before it does any other attacks. It might use a knockback and that'll cost me 5 seconds or so. At this point we are counting the seconds. Number 2. You can trigger one more dive, or you can just kill it without the dive. You don't lose any time on these because everything stops during the dive animation. I don't know why it's in the game. If it made him avoid the attacks, then it would make sense, but since your skills even stop while the animation is playing, it seems kind of pointless. Well, I didn't stop that one. That's really just down to timing, depending on when it dives. If it's underground, under the clouds, whatever's going on there, if it's in that animation, it won't do the knockup, and it'll just wait until the next one. So you can technically kill this thing without ever being attacked by it, other than the random lightning strikes. But yeah, that's Virgil 2.0. 41 seconds. I was hoping for a sub 40 clear. I don't have that great of support. I was just using a random friend support for the buff if I had someone that was actually set up to damage gods. Maybe. That 1 second. But yeah, this is the skill that I think it's a little odd. It's not 100 hits, but it does trigger very often. I think probably 200 hits and you'll have already maxed that, and just the 80% damage is the big thing. She doesn't cap that easily until she gets this stacked up, and then that's enough. As for the build, it's pretty standard for my build. Now I use this as well. I'm a big fan of these party-wide buffs. If I had a little SC left over, I could get, I want to say, light boost 3. Yeah, light raise 3 is the other skill I was going to get, but I would just drop a little bit of strength to get that. But since I didn't have enough SC without giving up any other cap raises. But yeah, she's a pretty solid unit. I kind of just have garbage on her. I mean, this thing is actually just the 15% strength and the chance to ignore elemental resist is nice in general. But yeah, none of this is particularly rare gear at this point. There's much better things you could put on her. I did get Ains. Where is he? He's a good unit. I have kind of just a whatever setup on him. He's a good unit. He's a mage. He's a mage in a game where melees can use 10 attacks in the time you cast one spell. And your spells don't do enough damage to compensate for that animation change. Like, after they remove time stop, I've just never really latched onto mages again. Now, one thing that I did kind of like, which I'll showcase here just because, is he has an ultra advanced circle, very high MP regain, permanently. And one of the things I was just messing around with is you can actually make him into a pretty solid SCT battery. I could put on higher MP items, but it shouldn't matter. I don't think I can get him up to... If you had all the arcane ups, you might be able to get him to get a 100 proc, so that every single heal, every single MP recovery proc, you would be able to cast. It's way down there. You'd be able to cast Elixir of Pi. Now, this isn't actually going to be like a good clear or anything, but it's just something I thought was unique that he can do that not a lot of other mages can do. You can actually kind of do it with Cerulean Beauty Serene, just because she only needs 70 MP. But we'll just go back in here. Slap the worm around a bit more. But yeah, you need to get his MP up to, I think, 1500 or so, and then you'll get 100 proc on every recovery. You also get 2 free elixirs, and that's just anyone can do that. That's because of the way maximum MP drain works. It can only ever take 999. But yeah, this is not really gonna work without a defense break. And technically she has a defense break. It will work. I had very low hopes for this. little extra support here. He should be getting another proc any second now. But I want to see if this Serena has... or Sarah. Oh, there it goes. If you need a fight that you just need to be able to spam SCT recovery on someone who does not have any ability Goddess Kiss, he can do it. I think Sarah might actually still be better just because she only needs 70 with the same arc and that's it. But he gets a lot of MP for free. It's still just a little bit too slow for her. If you have a slower animation, DPS, or if you just stack on a little more max SC, you should be able to perfectly upkeep your SC. Assuming you're not just trying to spam only S3s or only S2s or only S1s on Sonic. As long as you're actually utilizing all of your stocks, 0 RNG SCT refill. So that's kind of cool. And I guess since I'm doing multiple clears in this, I might as well actually, put him in the party. Swap to probably Tails. I don't really have a good mage arc, honestly. Where's his own? Oh, there it is. Just look straight at it. His arc actually does have a good skill for Lai and Lennius, I guess. It's a lot of SC, but it is just 6k cap for mages. Time stop mages specifically. Let's actually turn back on his skills. And go beat up Epo because he's not very good. I'll be honest. Like, it's a mage. You should know what to expect at this point with mages. Actually, I think even a pill will be too strong. I might need to tweak his build a little bit. Now, one thing I can say is these units did actually get this clear for me. I didn't have anything that could damage other than her. Freya was the only one that I had that could actually damage the final phase. And both of them can damage it, and she could pretty much solo it. You can kill it in one special burst, and you're done. But, yeah. Got me the clear, got me all the rewards, so that was nice. I don't think the arc really gave me anything, but I have it. Now, let me just, I know what I need to do here. I don't know if he has enough SC to actually do it. I need a lot. Just gonna ditch that. It's good, but it's not that much for him because he doesn't use time stop. I don't know why he has time stop learned, but it's bad. Don't use it. Like, his biggest strength is not relying on time stop. Alright, I need notice kiss. Phase change. I still need a lot. So we're gonna drop these. He doesn't need to crit, it's just nice for the sustain. I don't think I can even get that. Well, there we go. Somewhat of a setup that might be able to do this in a reasonable time. I know there's some old units that can recover MP on special. I never used them, even when they were new units. I had them. I don't think it recovered enough MP to matter at this point. You actually don't really use True Dark all that much. This is his non-elemental. It's good, but for the most part, you're going to actually use this fire skill just because you can buff it up with a lot of stuff. Tails is buffing it. He's taking increased elemental damage. Non-elemental is much worse than it used to be, just because of all the support we have for elemental damage. It's also part of the reason I'm using the fire staff right now. It's just good attack. I could have tried to save that and skip the final part of the fight, skip the special, but it's a pain in the ass to time. That single burst skill is going to be what makes him valuable. Like, you're going to use him on any of the time trials where you have to go through some fodder mobs and then you have a boss at the end without a actual round change or wave change. You're going to time that perfectly and nuke the boss while also using him as like a little bit of support for the minions. Yeah, that's the one thing that I saw with him that was kind of cool. He can recover a lot of MP on Goddess Kiss procs because he has the magic. I'm not even sure if it applies to his normal attacks, but it seems like it does. Because yeah, he recovers a lot. I'm pretty sure his normal attacks also count as... It says skills only. I'm pretty sure it means all physical attacks. Skills and special only. Because he just recovers a lot of MP. But yeah, it's a neat little trick. You can actually get some use out of a mage. Because like in any of these fights, they just have too much HP. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, you're gonna run out of MP, they're gonna be half health. And I mean, sure, you could take multiple mages and then one mage does 50%, the other mage does 50%, there you go. But I think most DPS anyone compares at this point, and this is a very low fight to compare in, but if you're going to take a DPS and compare it, you expect that DPS to be able to solo the boss. I don't know where else you want this much damage, and you don't need to sustain this much damage. I don't know if this will kill. His special isn't weak, but his magic gets all of his boosts. Maybe? Oh, come on. Technically, you can take him dual-willed and you can do some damage with his skills, but he's not punished at all for skill caps, and he has some boost to skill caps. It's not good. But you can make it work, but it's inferior to his magic for the most part, other than not being MP dependent. But yeah, both of the units are fun. Shalltear is definitely the prize. Like, just for any time trial, you activate her burst and she beats out discount guts by a mile. If you have time to stack her up, you can easily get that, get the Cloud God probably down to 20 seconds, 25 seconds, if you actually fully support her with a team. I kind of just was using a team that works, that I have. But yeah, I still like Arngrim. He's still my preferred DPS, but she's definitely better than him. The only reason I prefer him is he is tankier, and I feel like his the way he works is more suitable for a melee. Shalltear is kind of like the kind of a melee, but not really a melee. Her S3 and S2, both, S2 I think is map wide range, and S3, it's a very long range AoE, and I think it activates before it actually gets all of its hits. Like half of the skill will hit and half of it misses. It didn't feel very good. I always use S1 to get close, and then use the S3s, and then the S2s. She's like a mix range melee. And generally that's good, but for a lot of the content I do, I want to specifically split up my characters a certain way, and having a character like Arngrim, who his S3 immediately dashes, map-wide dash, puts you right where the enemy is, does not put you behind the enemy, which is a good thing when you're not already in front of the enemy. Like, if you're already behind the enemy and you're attacking it, you don't want to dash in front of the enemy because you were behind it. I hate characters that do that. Just because it's a pain in the ass to keep track of how many times you need to use each skill. And yeah, don't like it. The last unit, Adobo, I don't know what her name is. I don't know how to pronounce it. Adobe. Adobe is pretty much garbage. She's purely based on PvP, and last time I was messing around with PvP, magic was the main DPS, and she does not work against magic. So, yeah, she's a weird unit. I thought she might have some PvE use, because her trait that makes your units survive a fatal attack said physical, and I wasn't sure because it's not very consistent. If it applied to specials, it would have been God tier for PvE. There's a lot of fights that you're just guaranteed to die to a special, and being able to survive it every 20 seconds. The boss doesn't use the special that often, so it just removes the special from the fight, and normally you have to heavily invest into surviving special damage. It's exclusively special damage reductions. So if you could just ignore all of that and have her sit on your team and just function as an SCT battery, it would have been decent. It doesn't work. All of those hopes and dreams crushed. It only applies to normal physical attacks. So it's purely PvP focused. No boss hits hard enough with physical that you're worried about it at this point. Other than that, I guess their arcs. It's worth mentioning. I already mentioned Ains' arc. It has this Overlord buff, as well as these. I like these. A lot of people don't like these. This one is going to be even more mixed. I think 3 SC on your other characters is not that much, and 36-15 that's solid. You're only going to get that when you have 3 of your own characters, unless you have a friends list dedicated to these support skills. I have a lot of people on my friends list that share units that have the support for these, but even just the 15% damage reduction, or 12%, 10%, I guess it would just be 10, yeah, 10%. 10%, that's still nice. You're basically going to make your main, your lead DPS immortal, or as close as you can get. And this is the other thing. Basically, if you have Lie, if you still use Linnaeus, this will be a big game. But the best arc is definitely Shalltear's in my book. It's 8 SC, 5k caps for physical only, but it has no reduction for dual wield. So slap that on your dual wielder, effectively a 10k cap for 8 SC. Best skill in the game. The only thing I don't know is how long does it take to stack up? I guess I could just show the exact skill so you can see it if you don't know, but it's minus 20 mind, which 20% mind isn't that big of a loss, but maybe in some fights you might not want that, but yeah, minus 20 mind, 5k cap, and 50% damage, but it's a gradual boost, so who knows how long it takes to stack up. You can probably check out Gold Mind, and they'll tell you exactly how long it takes. Spear Mega Boost, the way I look at these is the only skills I'm concerned with on any limited arc is unique skills. This is going to come around eventually. It's nice. Additional physical reduction is always great. You get some cap with it. It's going to come back around. This one is interesting. I like my strength boosts. It's an expensive strength boost, but it has that 7% on top of it. Not enough to chase for me. This would be the only reason I would chase this arc. And I want to say all of the arcs have something good. Oh yeah, this one, the 20% strength, unique to, most likely unique to this collab. We'll probably never see this on any other arc. I mean, again, I like my strength boosts. It's slightly cheaper than strength max or attack max. And I thought it was going to require human type because we had this one up here, but apparently not. So yeah, it's an interesting collab. We got some good units. We got a very good unit. We got a mage. And then, honestly, she is... I'm sure you've done the unit test. She's not good. She doesn't have the caps. She doesn't have the gear support. She's a tank who, again... This thing right here, that seemed interesting on paper, in-game, it didn't actually pan out. It's purely PvP. And I haven't seen anyone even use her in PvP. I occasionally spar with units, I barely even touch PvP at this point, and apparently I'm meeting people that are using her. Whoops, sorry. How? Oh, yeah, I forgot. I put gear on Knuckles. Knuckles alone is beating people's ass. Whoops. Everyone else is naked. Let me fix that real quick. Yeah, I give people free ones. I cannot be bothered. That's what I want to do. I do my day one arena at this point, get the free gems per run, and then place them the upper 2000s and get another 50 gems. I could be placing in the top 100, I just don't have the patience to log in every day and do it. It's nice to get those UR orbs, but... yeah, oh yeah, that's what I went in there for. I usually have a couple people on my list that are in the top 30. So we got one person that's using it. This is a full Y team. It's going to be awful. I just want to hit manual and actually try to win. Because I don't expect it's going to go well. My team has not been optimized for this. Well, maybe not. There's the magic. My worst enemy, mages. Well, like I said, she did not seem like she would be good in PvP, even though she's focused on PvP, and even my outdated team seems to be beating the only one on my friends list using her. The glory of PvP at this point. My anti-magic tells is too good. You build your team around using magic, and I spam Blizzard faster than you can get any magic out. You die once, and then you never cast another spell. Yes. She did absolutely nothing. She was there. I don't recommend using her. I'm sure you can get a team that makes it work, but use Lie. Actually use a team to support Lie. One-shot my team, one-shot everyone's team. Win the game. So yeah, that's it for this collab. I think I'll get one more poll, which I'm gonna try to get her just because at this point I might as well get all the units. If I thought I had a chance, I would try to get this arc, but since I only have one poll left, and it's gonna take every last gem I get for the rest of the event, I'll probably just go for her just to have the set. Other than that, enjoy the event. Be sure to get your Shalltear, maybe get an Ains. Later.